It's important to remember why you show up every single day and you do discipline kids, because you love them and you love that you want to help them in the long run, not just today. And when I say that out loud, I am just so grateful that I get to coach for a living. It is so rewarding to see young people grow up and develop. This has been my favorite thing to work with youth ever since I started with the Boys and Girls Club, is to watch people grow. That is something that brings me a ton of joy and a ton of purpose. You are listening to the Beyond the Scoreboard podcast, transforming athletes into leaders on and off the court with host Coach Furtado. Coaches, are you ready to take your passion for coaching and turn it into a full-time career? I know the challenges firsthand, but the Make Money Coaching Sports program helped me take BTG basketball full-time. If you're tired of juggling coaching part-time and want to fully focus on doing what you love, this business accelerator will give you the tools and support to make it happen. Hit the link in the show notes below to learn more and start living your dream. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Scoreboard podcast, the podcast that is passing wisdom to coaches and parents to transform athletes beyond the game. I am your host, Coach Justin Furtado, and in today's episode, I'm going to build on the episode last week where I talked about coaches are burning out at an 85% clip, including myself. Today, though, I'm going to talk about why I have a renewed sense of energy, renewed sense of purpose. And parents, if you're listening to this episode, sorry, it's for our coaches and why we do it. Because I got a great reminder last Friday of why I coach. I got an opportunity to go to a playoff game and watch the kids who I first started my high school coaching journey with when they were freshmen. They are all now seniors. And I got to obviously see them win the playoff game. That's great. What's most important is that I get to see them become young men. They're going to be graduating into society here in 4 months. 2 of them, who were on my freshman team 4 years ago, are going to be a part of our paid BTG basketball staff because they have shown me that they can be consistent, they communicate well, they're coachable. All the things we do as coaches, we pour into them and we pour so much energy. And I feel like this is one where most coaches that I come across, they're incredibly passionate about the sport of basketball or the sport, whatever sport they coach, right? They're super passionate about giving back to kids. And somewhere along those lines, right, a lot of times with burnout, we forget why we coach. And last Friday was a reminder of why I coach, to make an impact beyond the game of basketball. It's really cool to see a lot of my OG kids, right? Kids that I first started are now graduating. Kids that I started and saw them their freshman year when they're incredibly immature. And that was a reminder to me of why I do it and why I coach. It's not about the transaction. And what I will say, where I feel like I got caught up, not necessarily lost, but and there's always going to be this challenge if I'm in this space. So I'm in the competitive club sports space. I'm in the training space. There is a transaction between myself, BTG, and parent. Parent pays X, pays a lot of money. They expect X, right? We at BTG need to get X athletes in to pay X bills, right? It becomes so transactional. And I got into coaching, and I teach my coaches, and I teach and I preach to myself, and I'm always trying to grow myself to be a transformational coach. That was that reminder of the work is working. These kids are becoming young men. Now I'm coaching more women or more girls becoming women into our workforce and into our society. And that's the impact that a coach can have. It's really, really rewarding. And so this is that sense of purpose that is reminding me to keep going when the times are challenging. As a coach, you go through different seasons, right? Whether it's a spring season, a club basketball season, a kid sports, a recreation season. There are times in the season where it can be really difficult. Our motivation is not the same. It's super easy, right? It's super easy to show up day one. And depending on how the season goes, finishing the season is generally, right, not too bad either. It's that middle ground. It's like every day, God, I got kids like doing this and that. Da 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 da. Remember why you are disciplining them. Remember that we are teachers of life. That's what we are as coaches. You're just using whatever sport you coach. That's the vehicle. Of course, the kids are not going to be perfect. We as coaches, we love the kids that work hard. Of course, we love the kids that work hard. We love the kids that are coachable. We love those kids. And there is an expectation as the cream rises to the top, right? Those are expectations. Those are non-negotiables. Now, we're coaching human beings. We're not coaching kids. Everyone's not going to be perfect. I forget sometimes that these are just young people. And I know, right, we say this generation is so soft. Who's responsible for that? We set standards for the kids. We have to have discipline. We have to have standards in place that actually help kids learn. And I think there's a disconnect sometimes because it can work. It can be effective, like running kids until they puke or push-ups. Like I've done it. I did it. And I honestly think it was effective for me as a person. I didn't hate push-ups. I have a positive relationship. I think it's a slippery slope. The goal is for you, right? Whatever way that is authentic to you, authentic to the culture, because every city has its own kind of unique culture. I'm in West Los Angeles. The difference between parents disciplining is going to be significantly different. So I'm not going to tell you how to discipline. The episode is, it's important to remember why you show up every single day and you do discipline kids because you love them and you love that you want to help them in the long run, not just today. It could be easy today, just let them play, right? I showed up late today or whatever your standards are and whatever they broke. And, it's okay. It's okay. We'll just let you play. I want to win. I want to discipline it. Coaching is hard. Coaching is really hard. And it's our evenings. It's our weekends. It can never end, right? And it feels like it can become a job for at least me. Not everyone is in the position that I am in coaching for a living. And when I say that out loud, I am just so grateful that I get to coach for a living. It is so rewarding to see young people grow up and develop. This has been my favorite thing to work with youth ever since I started with the Boys and Girls Club, is to watch people grow. That is something that brings me a ton of joy and a ton of purpose. And we have to remember our why, our purpose in those days where they're long, where we don't want to show up. That's why we keep showing up. And I'm going to say this with twofold. Sometimes it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a break. We are human beings, coaches. And if you need to go to the circus or you need to go to Six Flags or you need to lock yourself in a room and just binge reality TV, you got to know what gives you energy and what helps you reset. But I know for me, as someone that has recently experienced burnout a couple of times in the last year, and I do this for a living, I know that you're probably listening to this episode because you've experienced burnout as well. It's important to remember why we coach. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. That's what I want you to think about. Send this to a coaching friend who maybe needs this reminder. And then we'll be releasing another episode next week. Coach Furtado, out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Beyond the Scoreboard podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and share it with a friend, coach, or parent you feel like would get value from this episode. It's our responsibility to impact as many parents and coaches who are the ones that are impacting our athletes. That's how we create a ripple effect. So thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to serving you all next week.